cat. So it's important to know what you're selling for. You can see there's a little hole down there. Something's living in this. This started dying 2 years ago. And you can just see the corner of the neighbor's house. But this monster, he goes way, way up there. He is what I am selling for. It's always good to have a goal. He is huge. It was a southern magnolia, grandiflora. Over there, he's a baby one, which has got its first bloom way up at the top. But this monster has to come down. This is part of what I'm selling for. If you have a goal, it helps. So what's your goal? You've all seen the photo of the front of my house, which is from 1911 when the house was built. Well, in 1935, the woman who the house was built for, who my parents bought it from, her brother came to live with her, and they added all this onto the back. And I'm going to have to hire somebody to get that old trumpet vine down, because I'm terrified of heights, and there's not enough whiskey on the planet to get me up that high on a ladder unless the ground is on fire behind me and it's going all the way up the chimney. All this is my goal. This has to go. So one of the reasons I decided to change and go to an eBay store was for things like this. But we want to talk today about your goals. You know, we're in this together. You've seen parts of what my goal is. This porch behind me, they enclosed a gorgeous wooden porch with wooden pillars. My parents enclosed that sucker, which wasn't the best job. It's all cinder block on the outside. The windows, some of them are crooked, so they don't want to stay open or closed right. It's a problem. Handyman special. The running joke in my family is that Dad never really did anything to the house, but Dad did things to the house. So, my job is to clear it out in a way that will bring me financial ability to fix not only what was done, but what was left to fall apart, which is part of the problem. I have very clear-cut goals. I have a book for my house that has every repair in it and how I want to fix it, what I want to upgrade. eBay is part of that. You have to have good, clear focus of what you want. Why are you doing this? Especially if you're going to start doing this with a store and really start cranking things out. You must have something that helps keep you in focus of what is your end goal. I sold for years where, you know, if I listed stuff that week, I listed it, I might go a week or two. I can't do that anymore. So I have this list posted near my computer where I can see it. So when I get, frustrated, I take a walk. It's very important. You cannot sit still all day long in a computer screen. Your brain gets fogged, your body gets fatigued. You've got to give yourself breaks. There's a reason why most federal work laws have 15-minute breaks, so many hours. You've got to do that. If you have to set yourself a timer, you do that. Get your butt up out of that chair at least every 3 hours and take a walk. Take a walk around the block. Take a walk down the road. Get on the exercise bike for 15 minutes. Do something physical. Get out into the sunlight. Whatever. But you've got to do it. It will help maintain your energy, maintain your focus, and make sure you're hydrated, because that'll also make you drag and not be able to keep up. So these are things that you really need to consider. You'll see many an eBayer who's got a YouTube channel that talks about how, oh, yeah, you need to keep the focus, but they never tell you how. They never give you any kind of tips on how to keep that focus, how to keep that drive going. They just say, well, you just got to push. But most people don't really know what works. You have to find out what works for you. But in talking to quite a few others that are like me, that we're not the 20-year-old with all the energy. One of the things that has helped us all is that a little bit of exercise, plenty of hydration, and those breaks, which is when you're getting the exercise. Because you've just got to get everything in the body flowing, get the energy flowing, get your whole system flowing. And every one of us has agreed that it increases your focus. Having some goal in mind on a Post-it note where you can see it while you're working is another one. We've all found that really helps. If it's a goal for just one thing or a goal for a big thing like me, it's a 10-room house. It's a big thing. So, I've got the tree. I've still got 2 of the taxes to pay. That's the goal. I'm on my way. I'm going to keep going. The side goal of all that is a benefit. I try not to look at it as a goal, but a benefit. The benefit is I'm emptying my house. I am emptying out all those things from June, from Nancy, from Anne, and some of the stuff that came from the 2 grandmothers and the great aunts. So that's a side benefit. I try to look at that as a plus, not as a task. Oh, I've got to empty my house. Becomes a task. And then that becomes more of a negative energy. If I think of it as, yeah, stuff's leaving the house. This is a bonus. My goal is to have money come in. Now, if this stuff's going out, this is a bonus. This is an extra. This is more energy. This is more upbeat. This is a good thing. You want to try to keep that mindset because, it is true. What you put out there does come back at you. And so if you can keep it as positive as you can, then it really does help. It also helps with your energy level to just keep plugging through. It's going good. So keep that in mind. What is your goal? And order them. Pick 5 and order them of importance. And I would suggest that the top one, if you really feel you need the extra motivation, the top one can be something small, something that you can pay off and have it be gone. Whether it's an old medical bill, whether it's a credit card debt, whether it's, knowing that I have X number of bills that have to be paid this month, and what amount do I need above and beyond what comes from my paycheck. Have that number in front of you. It really does matter. You have to know. And once you know, you can achieve. Okay? We are in this together. Remember that. Once you know what you need, that becomes your goal. You can achieve it. We can do this. And we can clear our houses out, and our attics, and our cabinets, and our closets. You'd be surprised what can sell. Hello! Mailman time. Okay, mailman time. We're going to show you what came, because this is something you should know about. If you have, go away mosquito. If you have a lot of something, some things are not so easy to look up online. I know I recently bought a guidebook for Hagen Renneker small animals, little porcelain animals. They still make them today. In one of the videos you'll see I sold a little retired one for $32, but there's no good website to really identify them, so I had to buy a guidebook. Well, I have tons of toys. A lot of them are kind of beat up. Some you can sell for parts. From Matchbox and Corgi toys to Mark's toys to stuff I had when I was born in 65. Steve was born, I don't know, he's 16 years older than I am. You do the math. He's 70 now. There's toys from him. There's toys from my nieces from the from the 80s, from the 90s, from the early 2000s. There's a few things here from my nephew that I raised. So it really, I needed help. I needed help identifying. So because I have some of the older ones, I'm okay with the more modern ones. But some of the older ones, I don't know that much about. I may not be able to ID the maker. I got this. I think that's showing it backwards. It's Modern Toys, American Toys, 1930 to 1980 by Linda Baker. Now, I got it used, put out by Collector's Books, but I bought it off eBay used. If you find you have a lot of something and you don't know enough about it, you can find a lot on the internet, but be aware that there are some things out there you're just not finding. I'm looking for a good book for Mark's Toys specifically because there's a ton of that, and there's so many websites, but a lot of them specialize in a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm not finding just one where I can really do a good search. So I might have to invest in a book for that one. I have a book on Royal Dalton animals because I really do like finding and selling animals. I have books on Lefton pottery. I have a book on Napco pottery. I should probably show these to you and just do a big video all on the books. And maybe I'll tag that onto this because we are talking about things you need to know, things you need to do, focus, exercise, all that. But knowledge is power. You can get much better prices when you can positively identify your items. So I think I may turn this video into that. Okay, so we were talking about these old guidebooks. And I want to show you how many I have. And then there's more, like this entire bottom shelf is different guidebooks. Every time I've gotten one, it's been because I had a lot of something. And that's not even really all of them. There's a few more scattered around. So I'm guessing that this is getting me. But if you have a lot of any one thing, it like I said, if you cannot find a decent website on the internet, look at investing in a good guidebook. I mean, yes, the prices that are in them are not necessarily what's true market value. The only way you can get that figured out is to look things up. Look them up on eBay under completed listings, under sold listings, see what things truly are selling for. But otherwise, it's so important. You've got to know what you have. Who is it by? Because that's what the collectors are going to look for. They're going to put in the name of whatever maker it is or some other keyword. So, really work on getting that into your title descriptions and into your descriptions and into your titles. It makes a difference.